Before we go ahead and start this up, we got to do a couple more quick mods. Shout out to Boomba for the oil cap. Pardon me, I know we're trying to start and film this video here, but just got to do some quick mods. Sick nasty. Shout out to Boomba for the oil cap. All right, now we can start the car. For the record, we were just priming the turbo with.
Just a few months ago, I thought I was living the American dream, owning my own business, you know, the suit and tie thing. But at the end of the day, I didn't love it. It wasn't fueling my passion. So I sought out a position in a brand new industry, which led me to MAP. I've always been into cars, and now that I'm here doing marketing and content creation, it got me thinking, why not me, right? Why shouldn't I give a shot at building a car that I could enjoy and put it up on YouTube to share my passion with other enthusiasts? The only problem is, what car? And what can I possibly do that hasn't been done before?
What's going on, you guys? Charlie here from MA Performance, and today I'm really excited because we're getting started on a huge 3-day project to get this car ready to go up to an event you guys might know about ours called Proving Grounds. We weren't actually planning to bring the car up there because, I mean, in all reality, the event is a little bit different this year than it is in years past. And so we just weren't gonna take a spot or anything like that to go. But last minute, we decided that we definitely need to get out there and do some stuff with this car. So we decided we're gonna get everything done to the car that we had planned, but in 3 days. So today, day one, what you guys are gonna see us do, hopefully, is get the turbo, the downpipe, and the exhaust manifold on. If there's time, we're gonna go ahead and get the intercooler installed, but we've got a ton of stuff to do to this car over the next 3 days. 3 days! Stay tuned, we're gonna try to probably release some of this content a little more than just every Sunday, but without further ado, I'm gonna get into it. We got a lot of work to get done. I'm gonna get started taking this front bumper off. I guess we could probably fill you guys in, actually. I'm waiting for Tiny to get here so that we can chase the threads on the turbo we got. We did end up getting a stock turbo replacement, primarily because one, we wouldn't have time to mess around with the tune in time to get the car to PG. Two, it was gonna be like 3 to 4 weeks before we could even get another turbo here that was like a stock frame turbo upgrade. We made a call to our friends, Chris down at B&M Performance, and he went ahead and just shipped this up to us as quick as he could get it boxed up. I got this taken apart. We got all the studs out. We do have to just make sure that like all the fins and everything are good. Probably put it through like a parts cleaner or something like that if we can. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can't get the stud out of the back of the block to put the exhaust manifold on. I'll show you guys which exhaust manifold we're going with finally here, and probably pretty quick. All right, you guys, so here at MAP, we make 2 different exhaust manifolds for Evo 10s. We make the tubular exhaust manifold, and we make the investment cast manifold. Both of them are great options, but they're great for 2 different types of cars. So on our car, again, this weekend, the idea is that we're gonna take the car out to PG, we're gonna take the car around the track, do possibly some autocross stuff, like road course things. So what we're looking for is lower end torque. We're looking for just basically as much usable power at the lower end of the RPMs. So we are going with the investment cast manifold. So we're gonna use this investment cast manifold on our build, just so you guys are aware, for cars that aren't making more than like 450, 500 wheel, this is probably gonna be the better option for you as far as like flow goes. All right, you guys, so I just got back from cleaning the exhaust housing and just like cleaning up the turbo with Eric. And in the process of doing that, we found some cracks in the new used exhaust housing that we got. So we think we may have found a solution, but it's gonna have to wait till tomorrow for us to replace that OEM turbo with one locally that we found. In the meantime, we're gonna get started on everything else that we possibly can. So probably the front lip, the Canards, the intercooler that I'm gonna get started on here, and just kind of everything else. Right now, the exhaust manifold, the turbo, and the downpipe are gonna have to be held off till tomorrow, but we're gonna knock out everything else we possibly can in the meantime to get this car ready for the weekend. Peace out, Tommy. I just got the upper intercooler pipe off. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get the lower intercooler pipe off. But before I do that, I'm gonna make sure that I take off the blow-off valve hoses and whatnot that we got hooked up to it right now. Going up.
Every time I look at this lift, all I can think of is like Final Destination and like the cable breaking and like slicing me in half. Charlie, you watch Adam LZ, right?
Yeah.
Have you been watching any of his recent videos?
I have.
So you're familiar with Freddie, the tuner?
I am familiar with Freddie the tuner.
Isn't he incredibly handsome?
I don't know if I would go with incredibly handsome.
Like, he's got some kind of charm to him. Every time I watch it, I'm like, dude, that dude's so cute.
Oh, yeah. You're allowed to be into whatever you're into, man. It's 2020.
I'm just saying, dude, I don't think anyone should be ashamed to admit that he's handsome.
We just want to do a little side-by-side comparison. Obviously, this is just the stock intercooler with stock piping. As you guys saw before, the car had the Tomei rear upper intercooler pipe, but everything else was stock. So we just want to do a side-by-side comparison to show our entire intercooler kit compared to basically just a stock one. And that one obviously looks crusty and nasty, whereas this one still looks nice and pretty. We just gotta give it a little branding. So we'll get after that in a minute, but we wanted to show you guys straight out of the box what you're looking at. Spray can stunts. Probably overkill, taped off everything else. I just don't want any overspray on anything besides this lovely R&D trash can that I'm using as my paint table. And we got Tiny in the background working on mounting up that sick APR front splitter that definitely required some drilling. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on this thing here. I'm gonna use a box to do a test spray. All right, no clogged tips. The key to any good spray can job is to do the first coat light. You are a meme.
I wish, that's what I'm going for. I want to become a meme. I want people to make
Guys, Tiny's life goal is literally to become a meme. Somebody make it happen.
Like, I don't
Although
care.
I feel like us in our jobs, we could be the people that make it happen.
Right, but I want
it to be genuine.
Yeah, right.
But somewhat
like,
forced because I told you to do it.
Make fun of me, please. There's 1,000 reasons that you could. Ow.
His name is Tiny, for God's sakes.
I lost my finger. Huh? COVID. See, I did Kobe and COVID all in one. It makes for just as equally as bad of a joke.
So do we just include this like as a bonus? Because I've already got
couplers.
Because I've already got couplers.
Let me ask you this. What if you didn't have all of these parts and you just had the intercooler? Would you like to have those couplers?
I would, that's what I'm saying. Like at this point, are they just a bonus?
Yeah. At this point, if
I'm a customer.
If you're a part of the Map Everything Club, it's a bonus. And something good to just have.
All right, you guys, so I haven't updated you in a minute. Just been kind of getting busy working on the car. As you guys saw, Tiny was able to get the front splitter on. We got the MA Performance intercooler and intercooler piping kit all installed. Now I'm working on getting the Rex Speed front canards on the car, and it's looking pretty good. Just to give you guys an update here, I've got this side mocked up. How I measured it to make sure it was straight was by measuring the distance from here to here, and then kind of eyeballing the gap between the top of this and the fender, and then just drilling the hole through that so that I can get the first rivet in, and then I'll use that as kind of like my pivot point to align the rest of it and make sure that it's all exactly where I want it to be. Did that on both sides. So as you guys can see, I got this other side drilled as well. They're both spec'd about the exact same. Kind of taking a step back here, you guys can see the car is looking super aggressive. I love the map stencil that I put on the intercooler. It's looking really good. Now again, we've still got some stuff to do with getting the car to run still tomorrow. We had that snag with the turbo. Anyways guys, tonight my goal is to finish up these front canards. We got the front lip on, front splitter technically. It's looking incredible. I think I'm gonna take out these grills. Not sure that I like the look of those on there. For sure take out the lower one. I really want that map logo to be prominent, but it's looking incredible if you ask me. I love it. What do you guys think? You'll have to let me know down in the comments below. Should we include the map stencil on our intercoolers or not? You guys will have to let me know. Maybe it should just be an option. Let me know down below. All right, you guys, so we just got done putting on the lower front canards here. They look incredible. I mean, I've still got that fog light out. We took the fog light out so that we could properly put a washer on the back side of the bumper. So right now it's just loosely held on there right now. But anyways, this is kind of where we're gonna end it for today. I mean, currently it's almost 9 o'clock tonight. So it's not terribly late, but just trying to get this stuff wrapped up here and get home for the day. What's going on, you guys? It's currently day 2 of the track prep for the Evo 10, getting this thing ready to have it up at Proving Grounds this weekend. The new turbo is finally assembled thanks to my mans. He went ahead and got the new turbo assembled with all of the lines and everything. This turbo does have only about 50 miles on it, except then we put on our old inlet thing here, the 3-bolt flange, so whatever. Anyways, so where we're at right now, we got the front bumper taken off again. We've got to go ahead and drop the new turbo in so that we can get the exhaust manifold and the downpipe in, and then time permitting, we're going to go ahead and get some of the white line suspension parts on, and or get this car on the dyno. We'll see, but it's all kind of relative to what we can get to and what's being utilized at the time. So we're going to just get into it, get everything installed so we can get started. What do you say?
Let's get after it.
All right, so just to give you guys an update right now, Tiny's got the turbo back in place over here. He's currently just working on taking out the studs out of the back so that we can get our new manifold in. We're calling around everywhere we can right now to try and get a last minute alignment in. So we've called probably 3 or 4 different shops to see if we can get in tomorrow. But just trying to finish getting this finalized now that we're pretty confident we're going to be able to make the event happen. So here's to hoping we can get that scheduled. Oh mama. Tiny, this is a good looking downpipe.
Sure is.
So in the last video, a lot of you guys were asking why it is that we would actually replace the AMS wide mouth downpipe that was on the car. And I'll be honest with you, the primary reason was one, because we had already chosen a downpipe we wanted to have on the car and had it set aside and everything. And 2, because I wanted to use our O2 eliminator downpipe. Just from a personal preference standpoint. I had no other really good reason other than the fact that I wanted to use the one that we make. This one looks absolutely phenomenal. It flows really well. It's definitely the one that I would personally buy if I had a stock one. So that's why I wanted to continue with that mindset and use it on this build. So, I mean, as you guys can tell, this is gonna come down and look absolutely amazing. It's gonna be super cool. I'm really excited to get this on the car. Tiny's just about done getting the exhaust manifold on. And once that's done, we'll be able to slap this in there. I'll get you guys some sick B-roll in 3, 2, 1. We got the investment cast manifold all put on. Essentially, it's just these 4 bolts around here. It sounds way simpler when you're just telling somebody what it goes into it, but the bolts are in very tricky places to get at. So it does take a little bit of knowledge. Tiny, why don't you tell us a little bit about the tools you used to get this installed, because you did it really fast.
It's a combination of a 8mm Allen socket and a couple different sizes of 14mm wrenches and regular sockets. So I use a 3/8 and a 1/4" socket with some different extensions to kind of get into some tight places, and then just a regular old 14mm the 14mm combination wrench when it also needed it. Just kind of about utilizing the space that you have and making the most of it. So
nonetheless, that's in. Now we're gonna get the car up in the air. We're gonna put the downpipe on. Maybe before that, I'll put back together the intake and the intercooler rear upper pipe, and then we'll put it up in the air, put the downpipe in, and we'll be ready to start this thing up. So we're on a bit of a time crunch here, so I'm gonna get busy. All right, you guys, car's up in the air. Again, the sense of urgency right now is because we're trying to get everything done here so that all of this can actually make it into the first episode around this, instead of having to cut it all into 2 episodes. Honestly, I feel horrible leaving you guys hanging all the time, where basically we tell you we're gonna install these parts and then we don't. So Tiny's gonna go ahead and get busy here. We're gonna put this camera on a time lapse. I'm gonna assist where I possibly can. And yeah.
So yeah, again.
Yeah.
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 All right.
What's your prediction, Tiny? How long do you think it'll be before we start this car?
Several hours later.
I'm predicting 7.5 minutes. Time is currently 1:03. Set timer for 7.5 minutes.
Okay, your timer is set for 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
All right, everything is on up top. We very obviously didn't make the 7.5 minute countdown, but Tiny's going ahead. Tiny's just tightening the bolts underneath now. I got the front bumper on. It looks way, way, way better with the clear fog light. Even though the fog lights aren't like immaculate, this looks a million times better in my opinion. Zip tie run.
Wow.
This is where we speed it up in post. Really, really, really fast. All right, you guys, everything is officially bolted onto the car for the first time in like 4 weeks. What we're gonna do now, obviously, is get the car lowered. Tiny, do the honors. And we're just gonna do a startup so you guys can hear how this car sounds with the new manifold and the O2 eliminator downpipe. And ours has the new open dump, so it's gonna sound, well, it's not new, it's not a new product, but new to this car. It has an open dump now, so it's gonna sound probably way different than it did before. Hopefully quite a bit louder. I know in the exhaust video, you guys all thought the car sounded really quiet, which, like, oddly enough, in person, like, it didn't sound that quiet. It's just maybe, like, oddly enough sounded quiet on video.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where, like, unless you like really focus on capturing the sound of it, you don't really get it.
Right.
It's like the right amount of noise.
Yeah, I guess that's a note for us in post next time. Fix it in post, as they say. All right, we're gonna prime the turbo, and then we'll get you guys the first startup. Before we go ahead and start this up, we got to do a couple more quick mods. Shout out to Boomba for the oil cap. So, pardon me, I know we're trying to start and film this video here, but just gotta do some quick mods. Sick nasty. Checking for leaks. We got a little leak. Apparently it ain't no thing to my man Tiny, so I ain't worried.
It's just an exhaust leak.
Ah, no. Worse things have happened. Anyways, guys, now that you know the car is running, I'm gonna let Tiny keep doing his thing, but this is where we're gonna end it for today. I've gotta get this footage over to Tyler right away so that this stuff can make it into the episode for this Sunday. Again, if you are watching this, then the event has already happened that we're taking this to. It's called Proving Grounds up at the Brainerd International Raceway. Hopefully I see some of you guys there. Otherwise, guys, the car's looking absolutely sick. Enjoy some of this B-roll. If you guys are interested in any of the parts that we use so far in today's video, they're gonna be linked down in the description below. As always, if you like this kind of content from us, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Give us a big old thumbs up. It does help out our channel. And leave us a comment down below on what you think. Again, we're taking guesses on the wheels because we haven't told anybody what the wheels are yet, but at 4 o'clock, so in, what time is it? It's 1:30. At 4 o'clock, I'm going to get the wheels mounted and balanced, and they're going on the car as soon as we get the alignment.
There was something I needed to add for all of you tech savvy, pay attention type folks. If you notice, we don't have the manifold gasket that's got like the heat shield. It's because I'm gonna make Charlie get rid of this plastic valve cover and go to a metal one.
Sounds good to me.
So you won't need it anymore.
All right. Closing Tiny thoughts, that was it. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna throw you some B-roll while we put in our outro stuff. The car looks absolutely sick, so I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.